All right, so here's a little fan sighting video. I saw one of these a while back on YouTube, thought it was interesting, and I've been taking some pictures of some fans I've seen. There's a few older pictures here and a few more recent pictures. And this one is a McGraw Edison seen in a window from the 70s with a screen next to it. Pretty good idea. Um, and these are interesting fans. I just found one recently. That's a similar 70s one with a thermostat. Cool fans. I love the three blade set and the Venturi. I don't never really liked Venturi that much, but it looks pretty cool. This next fan is a fan that uh, I'm closely related to. It's at a store that I work at, and to my knowledge, I've from watching a lot of this stuff, I've never seen a GE like this with a circle on the grate. If you look at the front grate, there's a metal circle within the square grate pattern, and there's a lot of these GEs up on YouTube. They seem to have made millions of them, and they seem to be fairly common, even though they're excellent and unusual fans. There's a lot of them out there, and I've never seen one with this circle. Okay, now the picture's gone, but I've never seen one with a circle like that. So if it's at all common, or if you know anything about that, feel free to comment on it. It'd be interesting to know if that's because this is a particularly early GE 20-inch box fan or whatever. I don't think it's reversible. I think this is a 3-speed only. This fan is the reason for this video. This is at a hardware store near where I live, and I've never seen anything like it. This is a plastic Galaxy from the early 80s or so, but it's definitely made specifically for this purpose. This is a wall-mounted fan. There's no way that would sit upright. So this is a purpose-specific fan. Very interesting. Next we have a small desk fan seen at a antique store. Cool looking fan, but not really what I'm looking for. I have sort of limited space, so my collection is really just going to be box fans. This fan was interesting to me because same place, because my grandma had a fan like this. I'm not exactly sure what she had, but it had the opening instead of a emblem in the center, so you could see the hub directly. But white plastic blades, blue small fans. It's really a lot like what I remember. I'm not sure who made this, and guy wanted 29 for this and 49 for the other one that you just saw. And I don't know. Again, not really what I'm looking for right now, and I don't know if that's out of the money. It's hard to say. As a collector, I try not to pay too much for these things. This is a Eastern Air. These fins are around. There's a few videos on YouTube. My grandpa had one of these, and that's why I like them. Um, like this, Grandpa's was 1-speed only. It had blue blade set with the 7 blades, and it was yellow. This one had a fake wood veneer finish on it. It was dark blue, dark brown blades. And there's a version of this that's green out there on the YouTube. So those are interesting fans, even though I wish they had a low speed. Next, we have some exhaust fans. This is the oldest of the lot. This is in a building I work in, and this is a pretty old fan. I like it quite a bit. It's not that old. You can tell by the fairly closed grate. That's a pretty good sign that a fan isn't really that old, but anyway, it's got the look for sure. Um, so I always spend a little more time than a normal person should looking at that fan as I pass by it. Next is in the same building, and this is in the furnace room. Um, this is interesting because it's really just a small metal frame that holds the motor and the fan blades. It must also be bolted to the grate, and then the whole thing is bolted to the frame there. And this is one of their newer ones. The only reason the bolted the way that thing is the other one is interesting is because the Lasco that I just picked up, the motor is bolted to the grate, so that's kind of an interesting way of doing it. This is just a big old, big modern exhaust fan, but it's substantial, and the blade set is cast aluminum, which, I mean, yeah, you can't do any better than that. I mean, it's not an old fan, but it's a pretty good fan. You know, someone designed it well, and they must have spent some bucks on it. So I took some pictures of it. And last but not least is some pictures of the home's one touch that is greatly missed. This is the one that attritioned, and I still have the motor. I'm eventually going to tear the motor apart and do a video about that. And I kept the blade set, and the blade set is now on a Lakewood, living a second life. So, hope you enjoyed this. I tried to make it interesting. This could be longer. I can talk at length about this stuff, but thanks for watching, and have a good winter.